Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Mindfully Aligned. With Thanksgiving around the corner, I figured this is the perfect time to talk all about gratitude. So I just wanted to do a cute little button down, casual kind of episode, just chatting with you guys about being grateful for the lives that we have and all the magic that it can do for us. So let's get into it. Obviously, gratitude is something that we know we should be doing, but we don't always remember to do it all the time. But it is super important, and I know it's Thanksgiving season, and that's the time that we most think about being thankful, but it's something that we can use year-round, and when we do use it year-round, it can really do so much for us. For starters, there are studies that say that a mindset of gratitude can actually obviously improve all the good things about your mental health, improve depression, stress, anxiety, give us a better feeling of control over our lives and more certainty. There are hardcore studies on this. I love the facts and the figures. The Harvard Medical School did a study that says that gratitude can improve relationships and even increase motivation, as people who regularly practice gratitude, not just around Thanksgiving, report feeling more optimistic and satisfied with their lives. Now, we all want to feel optimistic and satisfied with our lives, and if that means looking at the glass half full, I'm going to do exactly that, and I feel like it's easy to get caught up in our own problems and our own world, and when we do, sometimes it feels like the sky is crashing down when we don't get our way or something doesn't exactly line up. It's super easy to lose sight of all that we have. I'm not gonna lie, just with all the turmoil that has gone on in the past year, and just if you just watch the news, there's just so much going on at all times, and I look at how different people's lives can be from my own. And last Thanksgiving, when we went around the table, I said, you know what? I'm grateful that my biggest problem is my biggest problem. And I feel like I want to make that the message of today's episode. Like I said, this is a button down episode. We're just having a chat on gratitude. So I think that's going to be the message of today, is perspective even in hard times. It might feel easy to be grateful when we get that job we wanted and everything lines up how we like it, but that's not how life goes. Things happen. But when you maintain a mindset of gratitude, that's when you really tell the world, hey, I'm ready to accept more blessings because I know how not to squander them. I feel like that's really what it is. Gratitude invites an abundance mindset, and that does nothing but good for us, of course. So back to the idea that I'm grateful that my biggest problem is my biggest problem. We look around the world and there are people whose homes are being blown up. There is just so much atrocity in the world, death, disease, everything. And people who are going through those things don't have the luxury of complaining about the things that I complain about. Oh, so-and-so was annoying today. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I have so much work. Or I'm so tired after getting home from work. I don't even think I want to work out. When I saw how different life can be, we are all living on the same planet, all experiencing the same unit as in time, all living at the same time. But my problems are such a far cry from what life really could be. I have no choice but to be grateful. And I feel like that mentality, I developed that last year, and it really carried me through the year. No matter what happened to me, I was always able to take a step back and be like, look, I'm lucky that this is my biggest issue right now. And it really makes us realize how small all of our problems really are, If my biggest problem right this week is that I'm having a scheduling conflict between one thing I want to do versus the other, and, not making my friends upset because I want to choose one versus the other, isn't that amazing that is what stresses me out, and not worrying about how I'm going to get food tomorrow? I realize a lot of times our problems are fake problems That doesn't mean they don't matter. We can still care about them, of course, but I feel like it just offers some perspective. And again, when we want to just be grateful for when things go our way, this kind of mindset is a great way to maintain gratitude, even through the ugly moments, even through the things we don't necessarily love. Because at the end of the day, if we have certain things, if we have food, water, shelter, we have a whole lot to be grateful for. And I just think that, as we close out the year and we assess what we've done, what we haven't done, how we think the year went, I feel like every year everyone's like, this year was trash, this year was trash. But we could look back and try to think from a new lens. Okay, what did I learn this year? What did I experience that I feel like did me some good? What do I feel like shaped me this year? What am I glad I went through? I feel like even having gratitude for the things that hurt us is so powerful. When you can master that, I think then you're unstoppable. Then you have an ironclad mentality. Nothing can shake you, because you can be even grateful for people who waste your time, people who hurt you, experiences that you wish you could forget. When you turn that into, you know what? I'm grateful I met you. That is when you are truly a reflective person who has a perspective that the universe will reward, that God will reward. I think I try to look back now at all my experiences in the past and be like, you know what? I needed that. I didn't know then. Maybe I don't know now. Maybe I'll know down the line. But I'm glad, because it's part of my story. And if you believe you are destined for a higher purpose or destined for a purpose, you have to follow along with the story. So I'm grateful for what that story is, because it's mine, And anyone who's hurt me, like, obviously I don't want to go through that again, like, of course, but I can be grateful because maybe it taught me the importance of standing up for myself. It taught me the importance of never settling. It taught me the importance of a real friend versus a fake friend, or, what have you. All those things are things we need to collect through life, and gratitude helps us see that. And, we also talked in the last episode about comparison, and gratitude is a huge way that you can turn away from the comparison mindset. Instead of focusing on what others have or what others have done, I am able to now shift my focus into the world around me and how beautiful it actually is. The comparison mindset will cheat us into thinking that we don't have enough and our lives are not that great. Scrolling through social media, we're not scrolling through our own feed. No, we're scrolling through a highlight reel of everyone else's lives. We're constantly bombarded by seeing what everyone else is doing and how everyone else is living. We don't get to really pay attention and have a moment to be grateful for what we have unless we make that time for it. So I want to talk about how we can now make that time to be grateful, aside from just at the Thanksgiving table. And I'm going to be doing these practices, and I think we should all do them together, and you can let me know how they work for you, and maybe we can have a little chat on the Mindfully Aligned Instagram. But basically, there are so many ways that gratitude could help us, from stress management to productivity, all of it. It does so much, but it's so easy to work it into our daily lives and reap the benefits every single day. So I want us all, you and me, to start practicing gratitude every morning or every night. Just take 5 minutes, and before bed or before you open your phone, honestly, let's do both. Before we open our phones and before we go to bed, let's count like 3 things that we're grateful for. I think especially before opening our phones in the morning and we're bombarded by messages of what people are doing, how life could be, how our life isn't as good as theirs. Let's take stock and take a minute to really appreciate what we have first before we begin the day. And at the end of the day, it's super crucial too, because you might have had a bad day. Now you are forcing yourself to find something to be grateful for. Even if the whole sky is falling down, there is something to be grateful for. Maybe it's because, something horrible happened, but it could have been one step further. It could have been one step worse. And, in an alternate reality, you would have been wishing that it happened just like this instead, Simple things like that. I know for me in my own personal life, when I experienced something horrible, I had to think like that. And it made me honestly feel so much better. Even though it was a life-altering circumstance, that bit of gratitude helped me think, you know what? In some other world, I honestly would have been begging that this is what would have happened instead. I have to hold space for that. And I think that the daily practice is so helpful. Even on those bad days, you got to sit down and think about your day and instead spin it into a positive light. And the more we do it, the better we'll be at it. It really is a muscle. Our brain is a muscle. So when we train it to think a certain way, it might be awkward at first, just like lifting a new set of weights. The more we do it, the more comfortable we are in it. So if we all consciously practice gratitude, 3 things in the morning, 3 things at night, we will be naturally looking at our day that way. Because, at first it's like, okay, I'm going through my day, like thinking, okay, what could I write down later tonight that I'm grateful for? Now you are training your mind to look at your life through the lens of finding something to be grateful for. When we take our minds and we train it to look through that lens, we are now looking through an abundance mindset. And so when we go through life, instead of counting all the bad things that happen to us or walking around with the woe is me mindset or see, and then this happened to me too, like, can you believe that? My life. Instead, we're like, you know what? But this happened today. So, someone's looking out for me. Someone smiled at me when I got my coffee today, or my friend sent me that song and I really liked it and I can't believe she thought of me. Little things like that shift our thinking and honestly, like, invite more blessings in. It's the opposite of what we talked about last episode. It's the opposite of the limiting beliefs. It invites more in because you now have the energy of abundance and the energy of gratitude. It attracts more good things. If you've ever been in a bad spot and you're just walking around with like that rain cloud over you, you're just having a bad day or a bad week and it just feels like more and more and more is piling on, you're just stuck. You're attracting it more and more, and it sucks. It's so hard to get out of that loop. We have all been there. A gratitude mindset, an abundance mindset is the complete opposite of that. That warm and fuzzy feeling around Thanksgiving when we're surrounded by the people we love, talking about the things we love, and reflecting on that year that we've had, and trying to pick out something that we're grateful for. It really does create a nice, warm, fuzzy feeling. Why don't we give ourselves that year-round? Let's give ourselves more of that abundance energy. And if we count our blessings, we'll definitely have more to count. We'll just have more around us, It can help us in so many different facets of life. There are so many different things that we can be grateful for that we don't even realize it. For example, instead of at work, we're focused on what we did and didn't accomplish and feeling bad if we missed the mark on something. Instead, a gratitude mindset shifts that and we're like, you know what? I'm grateful for this foundation I have. I'm grateful that I know XYZ. And you're able to look at all you have yet to accomplish with a fresh mind. And you now are able to be grateful for your foundation, which makes you feel more equipped to do the things that you want to do. Like, instead of beating yourself up and having that negative mentality, oh my God, I'm so stupid, like I forgot to do this thing, like, oh my gosh, that negative mentality perpetuates itself and impacts your performance down the line. Whereas a gratitude mindset is like, okay, I know XYZ, I am really good at this thing. And as you repeat more and more of that thinking, it makes you feel more equipped, more prepared. And if you feel more equipped and more prepared, you act that way. Like we've been saying the last few episodes, what you think reflects your actions, and then your actions reflect your reality. So instead, having gratitude for your strengths instead of focusing on your weaknesses can allow your strengths to grow. The crazy thing is about the power of our minds is that whatever we pay attention to grows. So by paying attention more to the beautiful things in our lives, the more beautiful things we have in our lives to be grateful for, truly. If you ever look at somebody and they just seem so happy-go-lucky and everything just works out for them, chances are they are pretty darn grateful and they make sure that they take a moment to think about it. And you know what? I know that we can all do it too. So I will say in this past year, gratitude has definitely done me a whole lot of good. And I'm ready to take it to the next level, and I'm trying to take all of you guys with me. So let's be grateful this next year, 2025. Let's get on our gratitude vibes and count our blessings so that we have more blessings to count. All right, and that concludes today's episode. Again, that was more of a casual vibe. I just wanted to, with the holidays coming, I just want to sit and chat with you guys about being thankful and what it means to be more than thankful around Thanksgiving. So yeah, now with that being said, it is time for the song of the week. This week we have 2 songs of the week, too. The first song of the week is Good Days by SZA. I love this song. I love SZA. That's my girl. So I just feel like this is such a high vibrational song. It just is. If you listen to it and you actually think about it and just feel the music, it is a very high vibrational song, and that is what this is all about. Gratitude, raising our vibrations. Good Days reminds me of how important it is to appreciate the present moment, even if it's uncertain. Like I said, even if I have an inconvenience or a bad moment in my day, how lucky am I that that is the worst part of my day and it's not something incredibly horrible. You know what I mean? Like, life is beautiful if we choose to look at it that way, and I feel like this song does exactly that. And then the second song I have is Thank You by Bonnie Raitt. I found this song a few years ago on Thanksgiving, on a random Thanksgiving playlist I found, and ever since then it has been my own little special Thanksgiving song, and now I'm sharing it with you guys. I just feel like it's so cozy. It just, to me, sounds like sitting at a Thanksgiving table with your family and the food's coming down, and it's just so nice and such a cozy, cute little song. And it's about thanking the people in our lives, and that's really just what I want to do more of. Thanking more of the people we love, being grateful for the experiences that we may have had, good or bad. And I feel like this song and Good Days really drives that point home. So yeah, that concludes today's episode. I want us all to really keep that thankful vibe going through the end of the year into the next. Let's really look at life with that glass half full mindset and watch in awe as all the blessings pour in. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Hit me up on the Mindfully Aligned podcast Instagram. Tune into the playlist linked in the description, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye. Happy Thanksgiving.